Alright, today I'm going to be showing you how to replace the shaft on the shaft and the bearings on your Whisper Wash Series 3 swivel. I have a unit here where the shaft has been broken. They might have hit it against the curb or anything or snapped the shaft there. So obviously this is no good, but the swivel is still good. And the bearings are still good. It's really just the shaft. So instead of replacing the whole cartridge, we're just going to do the shaft today, and I'm going to show you how to get that done. So the first thing we want to do would have been to remove the bar from the bottom, but clearly the bar has been broken off, so that part has been done for us already. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to disconnect this quick connect, and this is actually already loosened. If it wasn't loosened, I would have just put a wrench here and kind of cracked the seal, and it's going to come right off. So once I unscrew the cap here, I'm exposing cartridge in here. I'm just going to push it up from the bottom. So give it a push, and you see it just came right out, and I'm removing the whole swivel, and here it is. So alright, now I've got my swivel. I'm going to come over here to my workbench. And one of the first things I'm going to do, these top two parts are not fastened in any way, shape, or form, but they do have a couple of important seals. So I just want to make sure they're all still there and everything is where it should be. So I'm going to take off this top part. Like I said, it's completely unfastened, making sure this seal is still there. There's two seals there, and they stayed in place. That's perfect. I have this second part, which is also not fastened at all. It should slide right off. So there it goes. There's a seal there and a seal there. They're both still in place. So I'm just going to leave these here just as they go, which leaves me with just my shaft and my bearings. Pretty much the two important parts. If you notice, the shaft right here is a little wider so that the bearings cannot go any further up. That's what's holding your shafts. So the only way we're going to get the shafts out is by coming down, or the bearings out is by coming down the shaft. The way we're going to do that is by removing this snap ring. Once we remove this snap ring, these bearings should be able to slide right off. So I'm just going to place this here in my vise. I don't make it a practice of making it very tight. As you can see, I just have it enough where it's just kind of holding it in place. I don't want to mar anything up by using the bench press. So here we go. If you have a snap ring removal tool, it makes this part much easier. If not, you kind of gotta find some tools that'll get that done for you. Okay, so now I've gotten the snap ring out. I'm able to get it out of the top. Set that to the side because I still need it. Now what I want to do is I want to slide these bearings off of the bottom of the shaft. But they're usually on there pretty tight because the space here is very limited. So what I like to do is instead of sliding the bearings out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually push the shaft back through the bearings. And to do that, I'm just going to lay this here on my vise, not tightening it down, so that I can actually force this down through. But I don't want to damage or mar this up, even though this one's already broken. You just don't want to make it a habit. I like to take a piece of wood, kind of put it on here like that, and bang it down. And I'm just going to watch as the bearings move up the shaft. So here we go. Have clearance. And just make sure I'm good there. So here we go. So as you can see, they're making their way down. A few more bangs. I'm almost there. And you can see I am putting some force behind this to get it out. Bearings are out of the shaft. So I've got my new bearing here. I got the shafts, one snap ring, and these two top seals. This is pretty much the entire assembly here. So I'm done with this. I don't need it. That's gone. Here's my new one. So what I like to do is I get a little bit of multi-purpose grease, and I'll lube this up here just to get everything on a little bit easier. I'm gonna liberally here apply some grease. Looks like I got plenty on there, so I'm gonna grab some with my finger, and I'm also gonna grease the inside of my bearings here. So now we're just going to repeat that exact same process in reverse. I just want to get these bearings onto this seal. So once again, I'm going to be banging them through one at a time. So put it here like so. Piece of wood. And you can see that's making its way through nicely. We've got the first bearing all the way up there. That's where we want it. We're going to repeat the exact same process here. Almost got it. There it is. So now I got my two bearings there. They're lined up right to that edge, and I can see there where my snap ring is going to seat in. So now I got to reset my snap ring right there. So put it in my vise, not too tight. Don't want to mar up my brand new shaft. And this can actually, a lot of times, just slide right over and on. And it went right into that seat. Now you see I have bearings that spin freely. I got my snap ring in there. It's not going to come out. We're good to go. Now at this point, we're just going to reinstall the two top pieces which were on there loose. You see this side has a seat, where this side does not have a seat on it. So this seat lines up there, just like that. Always want to make sure that these two seals are still in there. Push that down, just like that. And there you have it. Now we're just going to reinstall it here to the machine. Well, whenever I get here, I like to take a little more of my grease. That might be a little too much. Just a little bit of grease here, and just make sure I grease that with some multi-purpose grease. And that's gonna slide right in. Gonna twist that back on. I'm gonna give it a quarter turn here, just to make sure it's nice and snugged up. It's pretty tight. If I flip it over, see my new shaft there, ready to take a bar. And that's perfect.